This is an interesting hadith. I've thought about it a lot. It actually, if you think about it, every one of us is a leader. At the same time, if all of us are leaders, that means that we're all followers as well. Would you agree? If everybody's a leader and everybody's a follower, in some circumstances you're going to lead. Maybe you're leading in education, but then along comes a Muslim brother who's so great, or a Muslim sister, they're so great in Islamic finances, you become a follower of them. And in another area you become a follower, in this area you become a follower. My hope, my goal, my wish, when I look at this upcoming decade, is to raise more leaders in different areas of the Muslim community, so that you can have quality and professionalism in all these different agendas, in all these different areas. Not everybody flocking to the education model and trying to copy and let's do this and let's do that, and everybody following the ball to the education. I'm saying look, let's throw a ball in the finance direction. Take another ball and throw it into the media section. Take another ball and throw it into the governance section. Let's let Muslims go in these different directions. Social services. Let leaders rise amongst them and have the ability to lead and not necessarily always need, need the stamp of approval of one sheikh. Sometimes when people, they start a project, they might come to me and say, oh, Muhammad, can you endorse this or something like that? My hope and my goal is that you won't need endorsing. That you yourself can be a leader that stands up and is able to lead this project. Does Baba Ali need me to endorse his Ummah films? Does he need me to do that? He doesn't need me. And that's what I wish for all of us. When you take on a project, maybe in the beginning, alhamdulillah, you can, some kind words, testimonials from this person and that, but you should be a leader enough that you don't need endorsing from other people. You're paving the way in these directions, inshallah ta'ala. When you look at the leadership of the Khulafa, radiyallahu ta'ala anhum, Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and Ali, and look at when they take on leadership and their courage that they had there. Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, there's a lot of debate about, he wanted to be the leader and people are claiming this. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, protect us from such foolish talk. But Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, people don't realize that people like to become the leader when, the local community has just gotten a $10 million check from the Bank of Kuwait or something like that. Right? That's when people like to be leaders. Nobody likes to be a leader of a masjid that has a leak in it. If there's a leak on the roof and they need to fundraise, they need to build the masjid, who wants to be the leader at a time like that? They're like, you know what? We really need a lot of help. Could you be the leader? You'd be like, no, forget that, man. When is the $10 million check? Then you can come call me. That's when people like to be leader. So Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu became a leader at a time of the most difficult. When you look at Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he goes out into the streets in the middle of the night to make sure his ra'iyah, his flock is being taken care of, so much so that a woman says to him that you should be the Khalifa and not Umar. And he said, I am Umar, taking care of them late at night. And especially, you see, Uthman radiallahu anhu, who was killed shaheed in this path of standing courageously for leadership. Uthman, when the people who are threatening to kill him, they said, step down from leadership. He's like, okay, we're not asking to be leaders. He's like, if this is the leadership shirt, I'll take it off. Here, there you go. There, then the Muslim problem solved. And Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu says to him, don't take off a shirt that Allah clothed you with. Allah put this shirt on you, the shirt of leadership, don't take it off. And Uthman wore his shirt of leadership of the Khalifa all the way to Jannah. And they killed him for it. That's the legacy. And Ali radiallahu anhu, all the fitna that happened amongst the Muslims, subhanallah, to actually, Muslims, they fought Muslims. That is an intense situation. But Ali radiallahu anhu's courage that the state of the ummah, that he would actually, this is a big fitna, but he had the courage to stand up into the fitna. He didn't back down from the fitna. He stood it face forward so that he could bring the ummah back to its unity. Radiyallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'een. And that was their legacy. What about you? Let me give you some steps that you're going to need in this path of leadership. Step number one, actually you want to go to a situation where when you speak about a cause, people listen to you. That's your ultimate goal. That's when you're a leader. That's when you influence people, is when you say something, no one's just turning their head. They're actually listening to you. And they want to know what you say, and they're actually going to implement what you're saying. So how do you get to that level? It's about 5 steps. Number one, the first step is you're going to need to accept the responsibility of leadership. In other words, it's an attitude first and foremost that has to enter your heart, where you actually stop saying somebody needs to do something about this, and instead you say, I am going to do something about this. And you're not waiting for a calamity to befall before this happens. You're saying, I'm preparing the steps, and you might even say, I don't even have the tools. But you can learn the tools when you have the attitude that I need to go find out what the tools are. So step number one is you need to have the attitude. Step number 2 is you need a vision or a creative idea. You need something that when you say this to people, they're actually excited about it. And you yourself are excited about it. What I tell people, young entrepreneurs or young leaders, they say, how should I help the ummah? I'm like, don't worry about helping the ummah. Instead, what do you love to do? They're like, well, I like to paint. They're like, can the ummah benefit from painting? Can it benefit from painting? I was just looking at the Fest poster. I was trying to find it. You'll see that, yes, of course, the ummah can benefit from someone with all these skills in creativity. Okay? So what do you love to do? And make that your leadership project. So you need a great idea, and then I would say you need to get started on it. You yourself, with whatever skills you have, you need to get started on it. Don't get an idea and say, I'm going to have a fundraiser for it. I'm going to expect everybody else to work for it because I had this idea. Nobody's going to help you. This one guy came up to me and he said, I'm starting this internet radio. I'm like, how far in it have you gone? He's like, I haven't even registered the website yet. But he's like, I'd like you to be the star guy on my radio station. I'm like, dude, don't waste my time. He's like, yeah, that's what I thought you'd say. I'm like, okay, may Allah guide this person. Okay, so the next step after that is you need to get started. Don't expect people that are just going to hop on the bandwagon of your leadership. You haven't done anything. So once you get started on it, then people start to get excited. You need to gather an all-star team. Not just anybody that volunteers. You need an all-star team of volunteers. And then after you get these volunteers, you need to step away from actually doing the work and focus on managing the all-stars. So you have to be an all-star manager. Because if you're just a mediocre manager, the all-stars are going to get mad at you and they're going to leave. So you have to, it's like phases that you go through. You become an all-star manager and you arrive at a destination called influence. You arrive at a destination called influence. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you to arrive there. We need more leaders like that. Inshallah ta'ala, I've dedicated, people come up to me and ask me, so Muhammad, what's next for Muhammad Alshareef? And for me, it's leadership. And inshallah ta'ala, soon, if you follow me on Facebook, just Google Muhammad Alshareef Facebook. Inshallah ta'ala, I'm going to be starting a series on leadership. And so for those people who are serious, they have an idea and they want to take it from somebody needs to do something about this too, let's take the steps. And ultimately my goal, what you see with what we've done with Al-Maghrib Institute, my influence can't go beyond, okay, we've done this with Al-Maghrib Institute. I need to hand over these skills to capable young brothers and sisters who can take the baton and go in different directions. And building Al-Maghrib Institute like organizations and leadership, inshallah ta'ala, in all these different areas. I've named it, wait for it. I'll tell you later what I named it, inshallah ta'ala. Check it out on Facebook. Jazakumullah khairan. Actually, in conclusion, I wanted to remind all my brothers and sisters about the Journey of Faith conference coming up very soon, inshallah ta'ala. I'm going to be there, and I'd love to see you there as well. Journey of Faith, our #1 guy, Dr. Zakir Naik, inshallah ta'ala, is going to be there, who's a leader in media. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him. And so many other, our great shuyukh. We'll see you at the Journey of Faith conference as well. Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullah.